Hi guys, welcome to this video. So this is actually a very good question which I came across and it has been asked from one of my students. So we got to find the center, the radius of the circle, and the circle actually passes through all these points A, B, and C, right? So first off, let's start with the geometry. So we are just going to make a circle over here, and I'm just going to indicate these lines. So this is a point on the circle, of course, perhaps maybe somewhere over here or maybe somewhere over here. So I drop a perpendicular, and I think it's a good idea to take that point over here because this is a shorter length, so it will make more sense when we see it. And the perpendicular line drops something like this. Right, so these are this is what the points represent. So this is point C, this is point B, and this one is point A. Um, all right, so this one is 90 degree, and it is already being given that this is 10 and this is 4, and this one is of course 5. Now, the usual mistake which we might make, although from this figure it's very much intuitive that the center, this cannot pass through the center, right? The center should be somewhere over here. But it also makes sense logically because if this was the center and we know that the perpendicular from the center to a chord bisects it, and clearly this is not bisection, right? These are two different lengths, so it cannot be in the same line. All right, so let me take a different color over here now because the figure might get a little messy after some time. So we want to make it very clear, as clear as possible. I said this is the center O, and I'm going to drop a perpendicular over here from this center to this particular chord. And I know that the perpendicular from the center to the chord bisects it. So if this is 90 degree, then it bisects the chord. And what is the total chord length? I know that the chord is 10 plus 4, which is 14 units. And the half of 14 is, of course, 7 over here. So it means that this guy is got to be 7. So I'm going to write that very clearly. This guy is 7. And since this much was 10, so it makes sense that this small part is got to be 3 over here. So this is 3, I'm going to mark it over here. And of course, the remaining part is 4 as already indicated. So this is the point where I clear this 10 because I no longer need it. Okay. Now I'm gonna make some construction work over here, right? And that's what will lead us to the answer. We're gonna connect these 2 points. Right, so I know that this will be the radius because OA is the radius. Let's mark it as R. We do not know, let's mark this point as D, and we do not know OD, or perhaps if D and O looks alike, let's mark this as P, and we do not know OP, let's consider this as Y, or maybe consider it as X. So OP is X, which we do not know at the moment. Okay, so at least as of now, what I can see is based on that, I can definitely write that in the triangle OAP, I'm going to apply the Pythagoras theorem. So hypotenuse square, R square, is going to be the x square plus 7 square. So I'm going to keep it aside that R square is equal to x square plus 49. Excellent. Let's call it equation number 1 and let's box it up. So if we want to find the radius, right, we gotta do something to find the value of x. So our aim is now to find x. Okay. Now I'm gonna do another construction over here, and let's pay attention. Let's check it very carefully. I'm gonna extend this. In fact, let me take perhaps a yellow color over here. I'm gonna extend this line further till the point that it comes vertically above, directly above the center O, and I'm gonna perhaps mark it. Um, in fact, that point is no longer required, and I'm gonna drop it over here, right? And now I'm gonna connect these 2 points. What are the 2 points? The B and O I'm gonna connect, right? I'm gonna connect this B and O over here very carefully. Okay. Now I know that this guy was X, this guy was X, so definitely this guy will also be X, and this is already 5, and I know that this guy was 3, so definitely this guy will also be 3 because they are equal as per the construction. Okay, and what is OB? Don't you think OB is again the radius, because I'm just connecting a center with another point on the circle, so OB is nothing but the radius. So I'm going to write it very clearly over here that OB is also the radius, and we already assume the radius as R. So don't you think that I'm going to highlight that triangle over here Don't you think that in this particular triangle, we can again use the Pythagoras theorem because we have a 90-degree over here. So if we use the Pythagoras theorem, that's going to look like the hypotenuse is r. So r square is going to be equal to x square. It's not x square, by the way. Just be a little bit careful over here because x is only this much and this is 5. So that's going to be x plus 5 whole square plus 3 square. So that's going to be that will look like so. R square is going to be x plus 5 whole square plus 9, right? And I think we have two equations, two variables. All we have to do is eliminate these and get the answer, but the elimination is not that easy. So I think it's easy to eliminate r first and to find x, and then I can substitute x and get the value of r. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna replace r. So from first and second, since both these equations actually represent r. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna r square, pardon. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna equate both of them. So x square plus 49 is actually equal to x plus 5 whole square plus 9. All we have to do is use a couple of identities over here. So I think the identity is going to look like x square plus 49, and that's going to be equal to x square plus 25 plus 10x, and this is plus 9. So x square and x square is cancelled, bringing 25 and 9 over on the other side. So I think we are left with 40 minus 25, that is equal to 10x. If we flip the equation, then 10x is 40. 40 minus 25, I think that's 15. So the value of x has got to be 1.5. So all we have to do is plug this x back into equation number 1 to get the value of r. So the value of r square is got to be x square, which is 1.5 plus, I think that was 49. Yeah, 49. So I'm gonna write 49 over here, and if we solve this using a calculator, that's gonna come out as somewhere around 7.2, approximately. In fact, I'm gonna write that approximately around 7.2, which is our final answer. So that was a good question because it involved geometry, of course, and a couple of construction as well in order to get to this answer. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much.